Alright, this is going to cover getting Cengage material into Canvas so students can see it. Okay, so the book should already be loaded at this point. Check out the previous screencast if that's not the case. So you have the Cengage link somewhere. This is where the content is. Okay, but now what you have to do is get these links to content into the course. So I'm going to keep this real simple here. And Cengage, it works differently than some of the other platforms that I've seen, in that where we're going to end up as modules. Okay, so you see I've already imported some stuff. You can import the whole book and all that, but what I'm going to do is try to just keep this simple right now. So we're going to focus on this chapter. I don't know, I guess we'll do a chapter 2 module. The logic is the same for whatever. Okay, so how is your course arranged? How are your classes going? What I was doing last year, which I may or may not do this year, is I would have students upload reading notes to show that they read the chapter, come take a quiz that I made, just a Scantron quiz. And then they're going to have, that was the A, or for me, the physical part of the class since it's hybrid. And then for the B online, I'd usually have them watch a screencast on the topic of the chapter in more detail, respond to that in a 250 word response. So what I'm mainly concerned with right now is just, well, how do we get the chapter in there, of course, to start out with? So we got to see the chapter. So if I'm going to chapter 2, The Rise of Greece. So here's what's available for chapter 2. All right, the quiz. This is mainly for the students. This is to practice. As I'm saying it here, this is not for us, right? So there is anything that the book's going to generate, be an add to grade book. This, unlike some of the comp books that we have right now, if it's not showing up here, that's more or less for the students to practice. So I may put that in there to help them, may not. So they got flashcards, same principle. This is what I'd like to highlight before we get going. This is not in the book, so this will be linked through Canvas to Cengage. There are a lot more primary readings. So we have Odyssey, Iliad, and so on. And I believe later on you're going to have musical selections and so on that you can upload and have students deal with directly. This may have a profound influence for how I deal with what would be my B time, the internet time, or just anything that you wanted to do more specifically after you cover the chapter. But right now let's just stick with the chapter. So if we want to do chapter 2, The Rise of Greece, that's it. How do we know this is it? We click on this thing. And notice the pop out to the actual chapter. Okay, so this will start chapter 2. Scroll through it this way, and so on. All right, so I'm going to get out of this right now. And I just need to get this into Canvas so students can see it. So I'm going to add to course. Okay, if I wanted to add all this helper stuff, maybe not the primary material right now, I could do that too, but I want it to look a little bit clean right now. And so I'll also give them the preview. This is just for students, what's to come in the chapter. Same sort of zonk out again. So the chapter preview is all that is. All right, so we'll just, for right now, I'm just going to do both of those to make sure we can get it in. Confirm. Get the redirect. Now it's in, and so imported today 7.3 preview in chapter 2. All right, so to get these into the section, I just need to move these down here. And I'll go ahead and put the preview in as well. and students at least have something. I need to make sure this is visible, and so on. So now, if I follow the logic of what I was doing before, the same thing that I was doing before, I can just can add a new assignment. All right, reading notes for chapter 2. And then that's going to take me to the actual assignment, all right, that I could create from there. All right, so edit the assignment, just create it like a normal assignment, and notice that I'm on the assignment section. So since we are kicked out, right, so as students enter this through a module, and assignments can be placed however you want to place them. This is where I'm going to start looking to, I don't know, I'm going to think about spreading out the assessment, maybe not doing it in just a couple of concentrated assignments as we were doing before. Maybe if we all have the approach and so on. But I need to go to a meeting next week. All the chairs are meeting, and we're going to get some kind of direction on the future of assessment here. So I don't know if we're going to stick with the same program or what's going on with that. If we stick with the same program, already got something made up that we can do and just keep doing, as it were. It is rather cumbersome. I mean, I'm not the only one who thinks this. Everyone thinks this, but that's when we'd go through all the business of the rubric. And I think for right now, this will do it. So what you may want to do is just play around, see what all the stuff there is. There's not a whole lot of pre-graded stuff. I don't think there's any pre-graded stuff, which is fine anyway. Because when we were using the Pearson platform before, a lot of the students just end up buying. They'll rent these things, or you can buy them from Chegg. So I'm not sure what good those were doing anyway. I don't know. I don't think anybody was really quiz heavy anyway for humanities. Okay, I think that's good enough for right now. More details to follow.